Hey, yo, what's up, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Matchmaker. And tonight, man, I had to come on. I wasn't going to come on, but I decided that I wanted to come on anyway, due to the fact, man, there's just too much stuff out there. Like the coach getting fired. I seen people saying how wrong it was, so I kind of looked into it. I seen, Facebook posts that I kind of agree with or disagree with. I seen, stuff that I also wanted to touch on, far as like Travis Hunter. So there's a slew of things that I want to touch on. But first, I'm gonna get into this one, right? I seen this post and this was accurate. It was very accurate when I seen it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read it, right? And it was this person. Shout out to her. I can't pronounce her name. Shadriel, right? Danielle Green. And she said, people think because you cut them off, it's jealousy or animosity. Sometimes cutoffs are because of differences in mindsets. Some of y'all have no loyalty and will cross people that have been nothing but good to you. Some of y'all are users, and that's all you know how to do. Some of y'all complain too much and your energy is draining. You may have negative qualities and don't align with the next person. Some of y'all just two-faced, and some people just don't want to deal with that type of energy. Cutoffs can even happen for personal reasons and has absolutely nothing to do with you. Sometimes cutoffs, right, is for personal growth. And the reason why I actually like that, man, is because look, man, a lot of times, bro, we don't grow in this sport due to the fact that it's a lot of people that want to cut you off. There's a lot of people that have animosity towards you. There's a lot of people that come at you for no reason. Like me, right? Say for me, for instance, I ain't doing nothing but trying to help these babies. I get a lot of slack for doing it. I get a lot of slack for just trying to help kids. I've seen, people say things, misleading to the kids. Guess what I do? I make sure that I say something. Nobody is going to think that they're going to be okay saying the worst things to mislead these kids. Cutting off and difference of opinion don't mean hating, right? It just means that you have an opinion that differs from mine. We got to start getting into this phase of communication. I think communication, right, it resolves the misunderstanding that most of us have. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that, for the most part, man, we should understand, man, that look, just because I no longer talk to you doesn't mean I have an issue with you. But the one thing that I must say is that you're not having I'm not having an issue just because we may not get along. I just may have an issue because I know if I'm distancing myself from you, then I might get further. Right. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got a lot that I want to talk about today. And I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here, but it's just different things that that I seen that I kind of just want to touch on. So it might be a lot of different topics. So but yeah, the next one, right? I seen this one. Shout out to this group, right? The individual that cut it. He said, if the coaching was so good, teams will be trying to steal your coaches and not just the kids, right? And when I seen that, I read it wrong at first, but I'm like, nah, like why would they want the coach? They got their own coaches. But you're right? Because the coaches actually create that atmosphere, and it actually make people want to come to that organization and to try to play for you. But sometimes a lot of people do not reach out to you because they know that you have a certain amount of loyalty to that team, and they don't want to put themselves out there as somebody that's trying to steal one of another team's coaches, and then they don't want to look bad because right now everything is on the internet. So I think that's part of the reason why certain people don't go for coaches, because the coaches may expose them for trying to get them. I don't know how certain things get exposed because I've seen people, right, new coaches ask people for instructions or directions, far as how do I get information of how to coach. I'm trying to coach a team. I'm fairly new, and people will shun you for it, right? So I've seen that type of behavior. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? Um, nobody wants to ask for help because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, it always end up on the internet and people will try to make you feel bad for not knowing something, not realizing that everybody has to start at some point. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, but at the same time, like it's part of the process. The only thing that I will say is a bad thing is if you're downplaying another coach, if you're lying on another coach, or you using another coach as a selling pitch, right? So, for instance, if you like, man, look, I don't know why you playing for such coach such and such because coach such and such, man, like he don't even really coach his kids or he don't really do this. Like I have an issue with that type of, you know what I'm saying, sales pitch. But it's a sport, man. It's part of the game, right? People in the NFL does it. A lot of other individuals also does it. So I don't see the problem with that. You know what I'm saying? As long as you uh, plan on, and intending on coaching these kids the right way, I don't have an issue with it. I'm gonna be flat out honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But all right, so let me go to the next one, right? So this was another thing that I seen, right? He says y'all buying kids just to finish fourth, right? And to be honest, I'm gonna be fairly honest with you. I don't see why nobody would actually. Hey, what's up, PA? I don't. He says not used to Saturday nights action. Nah, man. I decided to come on, man. It's too much information out there right now, right? Because I want to touch on this coach that got fired, and honestly, bro, everybody they look or they gloss over certain things, and from what I read on the coach, man, if that really was the reason why this man left or got fired, then I don't really have an issue with it. But I'm gonna definitely get into that as well. You feel what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, bro, I read a lot of that and I just like, man, nah, bro. If this was the reason, I agree because I was just saying it. And if I disagree, then I gotta call myself a hypocrite. I do, and I don't want to call myself a hypocrite at all. You feel what I'm saying? So let me see. I got a lot of little things that I actually ran across. So this was the coach right here, Coach Jude. Right, I'm gonna get into that in a minute. This was another one, right? And I want to talk about this one briefly. The gentleman says that 7-1 stuff, right? Making kids soft. And I was trying to figure out, and somebody can help me with this. He said the 7-1 is soft. And I'm trying to figure out like what was he talking about, right? And so I went inside the comments, and then one of the guys says facts, they get used to playing bully ball, then they get to school and be the ones getting bullied, right? And then this guy CJ, he says, man, all I'm saying is if you playing down a year, all right, you should be winning MVP, national championships, and destroying Earth since you're playing against younger, smaller kids, right? And the thing is, bro, the reason why I have a problem with people talking about 7-1, the reason why I got a problem with people talking about 7-1, bro, you got 8-1 kids. That's only a month difference. When you get in high school, you're playing against people that are 2 or 3 years older than you. So a month, to make it seem like a person is somehow just that much older than you, it should be that much better than you, bro. I don't subscribe to that idea. I think that when people try to say that, they try to justify, you know, people losing or whatever. Like I don't agree with that at all, bro. If you playing a game and that person is a year older than you, that's not a big difference to me at all. It's not a big difference. You feel what I'm saying? And people trying to make it seem like it is. He says, how is any cutoff date soft? And that's the point that I'm trying to get to. Like, how is that soft? And if you ask me, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a month, like a month older. And then, like, even if you're playing in middle school, right? You're probably playing with somebody that's maybe 3 or 4, 5 years. I mean, 5 months older than you. So I don't get this analogy why people try to make one look better than the other, right? 7-1, 8-1. Okay, month difference. A month is the difference. But then you equate that to, oh, you playing bully ball because you're a month older than me, and now when you get in high school, you don't repeat that same type of style of play, right? The one thing about high school is that you are literally right playing against people who lift weights. Most individuals that are in that are in youth football don't lift weights. So when you play versus high school, yes, of course, you're not going to bully them. You're not going to bully them for the fact that they're lifting weights, they're stronger than you, right? They got a whole workout regimen, all that. So of course, right, that they're not going to get bullied. So I think people they literally try to make either their kid or a situation look better or worse because of they may have somebody in the race. They may have a horse in the race. But when you look at it, bro, 7-1 is not much different than 8-1. I don't care who says it because when we grew up playing, guess what? We played up, right? We played up versus players in that was much older than us, probably a year, and they thought we were the older team because we were beating everybody. We played in the league that was much. He said 7-1, 8-1 is a huge difference. No, it's not, sir. It ain't no difference at all. It's not a difference at all. It's not a difference because even people like let's say like Rare Breed. Rare Breed, they were playing versus team that was older than them. They played in a 14U, tournament, and they were 13U. So how much of a difference does it actually make? And this team was actually a good team. They even wanted to play versus the OG Ducks, right? He says a lot of PA always been dual, right? Dual age, 6U, 8U, right? So you always playing with and against different ages. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people they trying to make it seem like that's a big difference, but bro, it's not at all. Can't nobody convince me that playing against somebody that's just only a month older than you is somehow putting you at a disadvantage. It's not. It's not. And I know some people might want to say, "Oh, well, look at what's the name? Florida, right? Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale, yes, when they got rid of, they 7-1 player, right? They end up losing to Bounty Boy. But even when they had that 7-1 player, they still, what I'm saying, only lost by a touchdown, right? It was 12-6. So even with them, what I'm saying, it didn't make much of a difference. Bounty Boys was just like that, bro. They were a really good team. And we can't take that away from them because if people are trying to say, oh man, just because they play with 7-1 players and not, nah, bro, you doing that team a disservice. So I don't agree when people try to make it seem like 7-1 is just so much older and so much more dominant and it makes so much more of a difference. I don't subscribe to that. You know what I'm saying? But for whoever do, I mean, more power to you. You just won't be able to convince me, otherwise, because that team is just as good, right? What is Bounty Boys? I think they just as good, you know, um, with the team that they have. I think the result could have still been the same, even if they did have them. Bounty Boys was a team, even though they was not a big team. Bounty Boys was still a team, right? That they like when it came to backs, running backs, right? Bounty Boys were a team equipped to tackle big running backs. They was not scared. They were a great tackling team. That's why I think people don't understand the reason why Bounty Boys was as successful as they were. They were an excellent defensive team. They were an excellent tackling team, and they had really good cornerbacks. So when you have that dynamic and they're not scared, right? They're not scared. Then yes, they give they self a chance to win any game. I truly think they only lost to 703 was because hey, what's good, Street? I only believe that they lost to what was it, 703? I only think they lost to them because they probably took them for granted. That's the only reason why I feel like they lost to them. He says, I call you. Hey, this dude, yeah, yeah, yeah. You better resolve yourself, my guy. He says, um, never understood one cutoff date, right? It's more golden than the other. And that's the thing, man. I've always played up. Hey, Street. So that's my take on it, man. I don't think the 7-1 means a big difference, make a big difference. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people out there that trying to use that to say that, oh man, like look, if y'all was our age, which they are, y'all was our age, man. We'd have beat y'all. We did this. Oh, I think Bounty Boys proved that that's hogwash. You know what I'm saying? They proved that. Look, bro, if you're not scared, you got a chance to win. That's it. That's what Bounty Boys killed all 7-1, 8-1 questions to me. Even though Fort Lauderdale played them at a at the 8-1, right? They only lost a couple of players. They still should have been able to win or whatever. And not only that, they played them in Fort Lauderdale and still only lost 12-6. So yes, they are a team that definitely belong, right? But yeah, man. Also, let me see. I'm trying to find it, right? Also, this was an interview that I did, right? I did this interview with a young man, and when I did this interview, this young man was on there and had friends on there that was watching the interview, and they were saying like, this guy wasn't telling the truth. He wasn't doing half of the stuff that he was saying, and with the interview, right, it caused a lot of rift. And so T Street was in here. They caused a rift, and when the follow when I seen all that stuff, right, I followed up with the young man. I asked him, I say, hey man, look, he was just trying to promote himself. Make sure that y'all squash this, man. It ain't even worth it. You feel what I'm saying? He just actually brought eyes to y'all organization, to y'all school, because he said that he was gonna beat Carver, and if y'all turn the season around, I'm gonna come to y'all game, right? This is what I told him. All right, so I squashed it, and I said, you know what? Let me go ahead, bro, and remove the video because a lot of people are getting up in arms about this video, and these are young high school, players. So I removed the video, right? I had two streams. I thought I removed it. So I had two streams, and I deleted the stream, but it was still up there. So I get a call by the coach. The coach calls me and then asks me, do I interview all of the kids without their parents' permission? I say, well, the parent was actually on the line, right? I said the parents was on the line, and the guy was trying to just insinuate that, you know, that I am just going around interviewing kids without the parents' permission, and I'm not getting their, you know, their permission, and basically insinuating that I'm just doing that, right? And so I'm like, hold on, wait. I say, first of all, coach, you know, I understand what you're saying, right? But what I'm trying to do is help these kids. He was like, yeah, man, you so-called helping these kids, and you just giving anybody interviews and all this other stuff. I'm like, bro, I'm not just giving anybody an interview. This young man also came to me and asked me. So I made the assumption that he got the permission. I'm always asking the young man to ask their father first, right? I'm always. So the guy, he's insinuating, and he was like, well, yeah, you so-called helping these kids, right? I say, man, first of all, the reason I created this channel is to give these kids the empowerment of knowing, right? The empowerment of knowing. Because you got people, as I was talking to him, right? Coaches who get everything, every effort, every piece of, you know, sweat, blood, and tears from these kids, and they get nothing in return. They don't get nothing in return. And I asked him, I say, look, sir, are you talking to him about how to get an NIL deal? Are you talking to him about how to go to college? Are you talking to him about other things, anything, you know, that's going to help him get to the next level? In fact, are you talking to any colleges? Are you doing any of these things? Because if so, you know what I'm saying? Like then I don't know why he would come on saying that you're not. You feel what I'm saying? But don't come at me, bro, for trying to help kids. And he asked me to delete it. But I personally don't think that he asked me to delete it for what the kids end up doing, which was getting into it, right? I don't think that he wanted me to do it for that reason. He wanted to do it because I was telling it how it was, which is coaches not looking into it, the best interest for these kids, the coaches not doing their due diligence and try to get these kids exposure, right, on a college level, and all the rest of the stuff that I was doing. I don't think he wanted me to delete it for the kids being into it. I believe that that's the reason he wanted me to do it, because I was saying things that a lot of coaches do, which is they get all of the effort out of the kids, but they never ever consider them to play on the next level. They never consider that. So I was like, man, this is crazy. You got a lot of people out there, man, that's being misguided, misled, that want to, you know, go to the next level, but they're not doing it. They're not doing it because they don't have no idea of how to do it. That's why this young man coming to me, right, asking for an interview, he's trying to promote himself because he have no idea, no clue of how to get himself on the next level. So he came to me. He wanted me to interview him as his way of getting exposure. He had got a few NIL deals, but it was his own doing. So I commend him because he's at least trying to put forth the effort to do that, right? A lot of people are not even, you know, looking to try to promote themselves to get themselves at a certain level. So I don't care if he was not telling the truth. The only thing that I see was a young man literally trying to sell himself, right? So he can try to bring eyes onto the organization. And I made a pact with him. If y'all turn y'all first few games around, guess what? Because they're in Columbus, right? Columbus, Georgia. I will come out there. I will film a couple of y'all games, even though you guys were 2-8. If you guys can win y'all first few games, I will come out there. I will film y'all because none of them have footage. None of them have film like that. They don't really get cameramen out there. So if that's not trying to help the organization, I don't know what is. But I'm tired of these so-called dudes that saying that they helping just because you lending your time. You're lending your time does not mean that you're helping. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I'm trying to help. And the fact that him as a coach not seeing that, and I felt like he's looking at his own interest, best interest. I had an issue with that. You feel what I'm saying? But PA says, he says, do you think YNC is really selling itself? The teams and fans short by using Wellington venue for nationals? Man, that's a great question. To be honest, in a way, because of the people that go out there, the amount of money that they spend, they don't really have anything to do after the games, right? So in that regard, yes, in that regard. But for the most part, um, I think it is based on like the participation. You know what I'm saying? Because like they didn't even have every bracket filled. So it could be that, like, we don't know why that's the case. We don't know why they end up selecting that venue because my experience with them when they played, right? They because I believe they went to IMG, right? When I first went, they went to IMG Academy, and like they'll play the games on the outskirts and all that other stuff, and then what they'll do is when the championship time came, they played on one field, right, the turf field. So that was the format that I was used to. Last year they end up playing. I forgot exactly where it was at, but they played on a pretty nice field. But they played at the place that they had the championship and all the games at there first, and then they went to the other location. This time they only had one location, and I'm only thinking it's because of the teams that did not participate. So if you don't have the same amount of teams that's used to partaking into the venues and stuff like that, they're not going to be able to sustain it. You know what I'm saying? Because they got expenses. So I can say do a different venue, but at the same time, I don't know their finance situation. I don't know why they're doing that. I know that they're looking to give the best experience. So, it got to be something to it. But I see why, especially like you had like a what 16 bracket, 17 bracket, right? When it come to 11U, you had what maybe like a four to five team bracket when it came to 13U. I think it was like I think they had like what 5, 6 teams in a 13U, right? Like every team wasn't stacked. You know what I'm saying? Every age group wasn't stacked. So that could be, the difference. That could be something that actually happened, that transpired. Um, Hold on. Street says, man, we not about to go through this again this year. If you ain't 7-1, don't come on matchmaker. He said, don't come on matchmaker. Don't worry about the YSC team. And that's the part. If a lot of people are afraid of the 7-1, you know what I'm saying? If you're using the 7-1 as a crutch, right, for possibly losing, because like I said, man, Bounty Boy shut all that down. If y'all use that, bro, you have no reason to try to be ranked at YNC at all, because that's the 7-1 lead right there. So you should have no problem not being on the ranking system at all. You feel what I'm saying? Can't have it both ways. You just work on trying to get on my dog Darian, you know, the seal. He said it should be on one age we go by as youth football. It should. And I don't see why it would be such a big deal to just say like, and I talked to Craig, but he was saying like if the coaches in the regions, you know, said if the coaches bring it to their reps in that region, like they'll vote on it, they'll change it and stuff like that. So it's something that can be done when it comes to that. It's not just oh well, we A1, we gotta stay A1. No, I had Craig on here saying that if y'all wanted to change that to 7-1, to where y'all got players that are 7-1, and if y'all have y'all coach go and talk to y'all region reps, it can be changed. It won't have to, we don't have to keep saying this 7-1, 8-1 stuff, bro, because it, like I said, don't make a difference. He says the field quality and optics of the field in the bleachers not the greatest. I mean, that's why I say, man, it's however they budgeting, because that's what it is. Everything that you do, you got to stay within budget. So that's what I'm gonna equate that to. I know that for a fact that Clayton and Jonah, one of the things that they look to do, man, is definitely try to bring in experience. And if they had the opportunity to, play in a stadium, they probably would do that. But like we said, we got to stay within budget. So those are the things, man, that a lot of people have to factor in when it comes to, like the budgeting and all that stuff, man. So let me go ahead though. Let me see, bro. All right, so look, let me read this real quick, man. I want to get into this. All right, 1 second. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna show this real quick. Cause I want y'all to know and let me know, man, if it's justified to y'all, right? All right, so this is the coach right here, right? This is Coach Jude, and I'm about to read some stuff, and y'all let me know. You know what I'm saying? If it's cap, or if like it was justified, because I literally was just I literally was just talking to y'all about a coach allowing an ineligible player, right, to play on the field, and how it was sending the wrong message. And then, like, when I seen that, a lot of people like, man, that's messed up, right? They got rid of Coach Jude, right? That's messed up. You know what I'm saying? They just did him wrong. They used him as an scapegoat and all this other stuff, right? So I'm going to read to y'all like the stuff that went on, right? It says the report: Miami Central fires head coach, right? Coach Jude Joseph. It says one of the most notable high school football programs in Florida has reportedly fired its head coach. Okay. Miami Central has parted ways with head coach, right? According to the reports of high school, right, on Sports Illustrated. Joseph had helm of Rockets since the 2022, right, 22 season, when he was promoted from the defensive coordinator. Now, the Sunshine State program was at the center of the controversy. The Florida High School Athletic Association found that Miami used ineligible players all season, resulting in the Rockets having to forfeit all 9 of their games, 8 into which they were victorious. Now, this is according to On3, right? That basically the reason why they fired him is due to having ineligible players. Now, if you have ineligible players, do you feel like firing him was justified, or do you feel like that man should have just gotten a warning, right? Put on probation? Do you feel like the school is just putting him right on the forefront to justify what the school probably already knew. Obviously, you know what's going on if it's on your team, right? And this person played, and you looking at the statistics, right? You doing all that. The athletic director already knows what's going on. I can assure you, right? He already knows what's going on. But people be trying to say themselves, you know what I'm saying? And and they fire the head coach to try to take the heat off of them. Now, what about the athletic director? What about everybody else that knew about what was going on? What are you going to do to them? Because they also are not having integrity. But let me continue. It says Miami Central self-reported the violation, right, of the FHSAA, according to the high school on Sports Illustrated, right, in accordance with the bylaws, right, the Rockets the record was changed to 0-9 per the fact of finding letter, right. The ineligible student athlete entered the ninth grade in 2020, right, 2021, and entered the 2024 and 25 school year as a fifth-year student, yet was allowed to play in 9 games, violating the bylaws. In addition to the forfeit, right, the association also fined Miami $900. The program was on pace to once again contend for the Florida State title, which it won 4 consecutive times. You know what I'm saying? So they knew about this, right? They still allowed this young man to play. But the way that I look at it is this, man. We have to keep the integrity. So even though you knew that the young man not only was a fifth-year senior, knew that he wasn't eligible, right? Although the coach said that he did not know, but you knew that he was ineligible. But then you end up allowing this young man to play. But here's the thing that I want to say. Even if you knew that he was ineligible, you know ain't no college is going to pick him up due to the fact that he don't have no grades. That's why I emphasize grades first. A lot of people put football first. But like I said, you can be the best player in the world. If you don't have the grades, you're not going to be able to play. That's just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So the dude, it seemed like the coach knew. I'm gonna be fairly honest. He says he's playing Ringer Fire. Hey, hey, I'm just saying, man. Look, he probably cheating to win, right? In 4 states. Yeah, you gotta question everything. But here's the part where it gets disgusting, though. Street in PA. Here's the part where I disagree. We saying that it's messed up that they fire him. I think it's messed up that you not even, taking into consideration the integrity of the game. And then people is out there justifying that. Oh, it was just one ineligible player, but he didn't know. Like, bro, you're supposed to know. You're supposed to. So, nah, bro, we can't. So far, bro, we can't justify. I can't justify. I would love to have him on here to talk about what happened. In fact, I might reach out to him, right? But let me continue. It ain't that much more. It says long after the forfeit were announced, right? What do you say? Joseph took to social media to comment on the era that led to the 0-9 season. We have been silent enough. It is unfortunate that our football season has ended. However, it is unfair for our students and staff to end without the record being set straight. Joseph wrote, the era that ended our season was not because of fault or intentional wrongdoing of myself nor the football coaching staff, right? Ahead of the 2024 season, Miami Central was in the news following a fight that broke out between it and Miami Northwestern during the Summer 707 event. Not long after, it was in the news again as the defensive back, now Miami Hurricane Enrollee Amari, suffered a compound fracture to his left leg during what was labeled an illegal scrimmage by the family attorney. The Rockets, who went to the undefeated 14-0 in 2022, 8-5 2023, now set to look for a new coach without Joseph. All right, so that's all the information that I've gotten. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing that I can pretty much go off of, is what they're saying. This man played with an ineligible player, and he said that he didn't intentionally play with an ineligible player. But I have to ask the question. You wasn't checking on their grades? You wasn't checking with the teachers? You wasn't checking with the stuff that coaches is supposed to do, which is getting weekly, you know what I'm saying, reports, so they can make up some work if necessary. You wasn't doing that. See, that shows you right there that a lot of times some of these coaches, bro, only care about what they can get out of the player. How don't you know that this fifth-year senior, the person that's older than everybody, how do you not know that this man is ineligible? The way that you don't know is you don't do your due diligence and you don't go check on the players, the students. You don't make sure that their grades are good. That's standard. I thought that was at least a basic minimum, that what you do is you gonna check on the players to, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that they're not failing so they can play. So that's right there within itself is you know what I'm saying, something that I don't agree with. You're not checking on your players. That's crazy. Street said, he said, I think it's messed up that every time it's a team cheating, literally, middle, high school, right? It's always a Florida team. That's crazy. Hey, I mean, you talk about who else? You talk about Bugatti. You talk about what's the Lauderdale Lakes, right? I think them other players, right? That was ineligible. Like, yeah, bro. Like, I hate to think that this is a Florida thing, but yes, a lot of people in Florida have got caught with cheating with older age players, right? And it's crazy to me. But for this man to say that he didn't know is still a problem, because you should have known. So the fact that you didn't know is a problem with me, and it says that you have not been checking on them players. You have not been checking with the school. But honestly, what I truly think this is, I think every last one of them knew. I think the athletic director knew. I think everybody knew. But if I wasn't mistaken with how I read it, it seems to me when the fight broke out, then that's when they started being on them, start checking it, start investigating. But they thought they were going to get away with it. That's what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong. I'm not gonna lie, I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like to me. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go ahead and let me see. All right, this dude says, parents, why do you pay your money to let your kids sit on a game day? I don't know about y'all, but I want to see what he do, and I want my son to have fun doing it. Who cares if they win or lose? Did you have fun, right? And ready to get better. And to be honest, not gonna lie to y'all, I agree with that message. I agree with that message. I think that players should know where they stand, right? But at the same time, in some cases, right, players get better when they on the field. The confidence grows. They able to play the game. And the one thing that I liked about what he said was having fun. I think we got so entangled and caught into what we want for the kid that we forgot the kid needs to have fun. A lot of them needs to enjoy what's going on, and a lot of these parents is taking the joy away from the game. And to be honest, that's why I think kids get burnt out. I think not only do they not have the mental for the game, they don't have the passion for the game because their parents didn't ruin it for them. You know what I'm saying? So letting them have fun is very important. It's very key. So I agree with that message, right? I think that they should have fun. But then two, for those who decide to go play on those teams and they blowing everybody out, this is what I will suggest and recommend. Let the kids play. Let the kids play. When there is a blowout, stop trying to run the score up. Put those kids in and let them get some reps. We don't care about your donut game. We don't care about the fact that you want, you want to keep running the score up. Put them babies in, bro. They paid their money. Go ahead and put them in. Bro, it be games where it's like I seen it be like 36-0, right? It's a running clock, but then you got a whole bunch of whole bunch of time on the clock. You probably they probably be third quarter or something like that, right? Clock running and all this other stuff. Put the kids in. Let them get some run. That's how they get better. You saying you coaching them up? Okay, this is the time to continue to coach them and let them know what they're doing, right or wrong. Now, when he said that, I think somebody said that, nah, man, they get better on the team. That's good. That's already structured and this and that and that and that. Right. Here's why I didn't agree with the statement that I read after that. The reason I didn't agree with the statement is because it's just my experience. When you see a player that's not up to the level of all of the other players, what I've seen was the coaches focused solely on the elite players. They didn't focus on the kid that needed help the most. They didn't really focus on them. They kind of pushed them to the side and used them as a filler. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, nah. But yeah, bro, I just wanted to kind of touch on those subjects, man. And last one. Let me see. Last one, bro. I definitely gotta talk about this one real quick. Let me see. Is it this? No, it's not that one. All right. No, not this one. Damn, where is it? Okay, hey, I wanted to touch on this, right? Just a little bit. I want to touch on this. It says Travis Hunter, the Heisman Trophy winner, two-way star from Colorado, right, is steadfast in his ambition to play both offense and defense, right, in the NFL, despite scouts advising him to focus on a single position. Hunter exceptional performance as both cornerback and wide receiver, right, has drawn significant attention, right, with former NFL quarterback. Tim Tebow expressing support for Hunter, dual role, right? Aspirations, stating, I would love to see it. I am rooting for him to do both because it would be fun. Now, let me know what y'all think. No, sorry. But let me know what y'all think when I say this. I truly believe that if Travis Hunter is successful at doing both equally, it's going to change and limit a lot of cornerback positions. It's going to change the game and limit a lot of cornerback positions and wide receiver positions. They're going to demand that players be good at both positions, cornerback and wide receiver. I think his success would be a detriment. Travis Hunter success would be a detriment to a lot of people possibly not making it to the NFL, right? I think it would be a detriment to the cornerbacks and wide receivers. I think that they're going to require and request for players to know how to play both skilled positions. That's just my personal opinion. Because if I can get one player like Travis Hunter, and he's equally good as a receiver, and he's equally good as a cornerback, they're going to be asking for just one player. So he will minimize, some positions because they're going to look for two-way players. I truly believe that, right? So it's going to minimize some positions, right? At the cornerback, he said, y'all airing after. Yes, we are airing. Yep, we definitely airing. But I wanted to come on, man, and just chop it up today. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think, man, about that statement. Do y'all think um, if Travis Hunter, right, stay healthy and have success on both sides, that uh, that teams and GMs, right, they could get a 2-for-1, right? They're gonna want a players that's going to be able to play both skill positions. They're gonna want that, and not just that. They probably feel like they will get a little bit. They will get way more money. I'll definitely say that. And I think if he's successful, that's the one thing that will change. Cornerback will get paid way more than what they're actually getting. Cornerbacks and slash wide receiver, they would get a lot more money because they would actually be saving money by just I guess drafting somebody that can play both sides, right? A dual threat or whatever. So I think it's definitely gonna ruffle some feathers. I can say that. He said just like their linebacker that could play running back like Micah Parsons. He says, hey, what's good, Butch? You called me when I'm on my way out, my guy. He says, it's plenty of NFL players who bear already in the league that can play both ways, but they don't get the notoriety, right? That he's getting. So the fact that you're going to have so many eyes on Travis Hunter, it to me it says that okay, if he's successful on both sides, because I don't think the other players wanted to play on both sides. And then we already know, just judging by history of the NFL, NBA, when they see somebody that does a certain thing and he actually accomplishes that type of stuff, just like for instance, the center, right? They saw somebody like Draymond Green able to play the center position and run the point and play the three, right? And can play the two, and they basically kind of got rid of the whole big man like Curry. shot the three. Now it's more like, okay, who can shoot on a perimeter, right? The big man is obsolete. Nobody needs the big man no more because they're not no longer coming into the paint. So the game evolved. So when you get somebody like Travis Hunter, the only difference it may be is he actually wants to try to play both sides. You feel what I'm saying? If he's successful, owners might try to force players to want to play both sides. See, that's why I say if he's successful, it can hurt the league. It can, I mean, not the league, but it can hurt the cornerbacks. You know what I'm saying? He said, "What's up, Ken? I disagree. Coaches know he was a unicorn. They might look for players like him, but won't demand it because of the money." See, that's the thing, though, Butch. That's the thing. You said they won't demand it because of the money. That's the thing. If he's playing both ways, he actually going to save them money. So if they ain't got to play another cornerback, pay another cornerback, and they can get a 2-for-1, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that can play wide receiver and a cornerback. Like, yeah, they're going to pay him good. You know what I'm saying? They're going to pay him really good. But I don't think that he's going to make what, like, I think it'll cost more if they get him and a quarterback that's going to play the position. So just pay him, they're saving money versus just paying him and then you still got another cornerback that you have to pay that money to. So yeah, man, it's gonna all pan out, man. It's gonna all pan out. Hey, but look, man, I'm about to get ready to get up out of here, man. I'll definitely see y'all tomorrow. Where I also got a guest on tomorrow. We coming on after the Super Bowl. And then we just gonna talk, man, talk about it a little bit, get more in depth on Monday about it. But I hope, which I doubt, that Philly win. I hope they win. I can't stand the way that they've been cheating for this boy, for Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Hopefully I come on here smiling tomorrow. But yeah, that's it, man. That's all I got. Thank y'all for tuning in, bro.